past several years, 3 islands and oceans around the world have sunk due to greenhouse gases, and unfortunately, it's only getting worse. Based on the United Nations report, sea levels are expected to increase by 1.5 to 3 feet by the end of the century. Now is the time to take action. Hi, I'm Penny, and today I'm going to cover the Biden administration's plan to reduce greenhouse gases and what you can do to make a positive impact on our planet. First of all, what are greenhouse gases? Greenhouse gases are gases in Earth's atmosphere that trap heat, intensify natural disasters, the rising water levels, and the melting of the polar ice caps are all due to greenhouse gases, which is why we need to take immediate action. Before Joe Biden was elected, the Trump administration demolished environmental safeguards, put an end to climate science, and abandoned global cooperation by withdrawing from the Paris Agreement. As you can see, 4 years going in the wrong direction certainly made it more challenging for President Biden, but he is making a strong effort in the hopes of reversing the damage the Trump administration has done. The first thing President Biden did to address climate change was to re-enter the Paris Agreement, a legally binding international treaty on climate change. He also wants to reach net zero emissions economy-wide before 2050 and limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, which is a goal from the Paris Agreement. In addition to his 2 main goals to reduce greenhouse gases, he has others, including reaching 100% carbon pollution-free electricity by 2035, building greener homes, and spending $174 billion in promoting electric cars and charging stations, and creating many more jobs for people in the process. For example, coal mine jobs can be replaced with jobs in the solar panel or wind turbine industry. This is not only better for human health, but reduces greenhouse gases and is good for the economy. Individuals can make a positive impact too. For starters, you can become carbon neutral. This means you're balancing your carbon emissions with its removal. Carbon dioxide is the main contributor, which accounts for 76% of total greenhouse gas emissions. Being carbon neutral might mean if you're going to use an excessive amount of non-renewable energy to wash your dishes, you could donate a small sum of money to an environmental organization, such as One Tree Planted, which plants 1 tree for just $1. You can also be mindful of how much you consume. When taking a shower, limit the amount of hot water you're using. A 5-minute shower creates 2.25 pounds of carbon dioxide. That's a lot. Your lights, appliances, heating, and air conditioning also emit carbon dioxide. About 85% of our energy comes from non-renewable fossil fuels, so it's likely that your appliances run on non-renewable energy too. Non-renewable energy comes from natural sources, which are not replenished at the speed at which they are consumed, such as natural gas or coal. On the other hand, renewable energy comes from natural sources which are constantly replenished, such as wind or solar energy. 62% of Americans today say that climate change is a factor in their community. If this is the case, then why is it so difficult for people to agree action is necessary to protect our environment? Well, there are 2 possible reasons for this. First of all, it's an invisible threat, so people don't feel they are directly affected. During my interview with Ann Jack Holmes, the managing director of the Federated Conservatives of Westchester County, she talked about the effects of greenhouse gases and how she sees these things as wake-up calls. So although the effects of greenhouse gases are horrible, they help people to realize that they need to take immediate action to protect our environment. Secondly, some people believe climate controls will negatively impact the economy, so they choose to ignore the environment. They would rather companies continue manufacturing products cheaply because they don't have to develop new technology to reduce their emissions, and people to continue living their everyday life without being mindful of how much they emit over a greener environment. But you have to ask yourself if the effects of greenhouse gases are really worth living a cheaper life. In conclusion, I encourage you to help reduce greenhouse gases. We need everybody if we want to reverse the damage we've done. David Attenborough says, "The world is not a bowl of fruit from which we can take what we wish. We are a part of it, and if we destroy it, we destroy ourselves." Thank you for taking the time to learn more about greenhouse gases and what you can do to make a positive impact on our planet. For more information, check out my blog at blogs.schools2schools.org/pwag28 or scan this QR code.